Hi there, I am Denise Shane Cheney, and you have joined me for yet another Tea Time with Denise. Today, I am very blessed to have Sondra Matthews joining us here, right here in the studio. I can't believe it. Sondra, I grew up watching her on television with the Sondra Matthews Show, and also for 40 years she did Our Times newspaper. She is the founder of the African American Museum, and I'll let her tell you about it. Thank you for joining us, Sondra.
I'm so glad to be here. It's a big surprise, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Sondra, we only have 3 questions, of course. First of all, tell us about you.
All right, well, I was born in Evansville, Indiana, in Lincoln Gardens, which is now the Evansville African American Museum. And I graduated from historical Lincoln High School, all-black high school. And I went to segregated school all my life until I got to college, where I attended IU. And I graduated with a degree in journalism from University of Evansville. And I spent like about 13 years in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, during the 60s, where I got a lot of background in Black Power. And in Milwaukee, I worked for the Electric Power Company, and then I later joined the black newspaper called the Milwaukee Star. And that's where I got my training and started up for a newspaper, and was at the Milwaukee Star, all black newspaper in Milwaukee. And joined a number of groups, and did a lot of marching with Dick Gregory for open housing back in the day, and just where I got my foundation for what we would say is my job, not my hustle. My hustle is what I do to make a living.
Okay.
My job was to do what was good for the black community.
Oh, wow.
And to be an agent for change. And so even though what I was doing may not benefit me personally, it was to benefit those coming behind me. And so I've always tried to work on issues and topics and things like that in order to move the community forward. I am the daughter of Lucille and Jasper Matthews. My mom was a Sunday school teacher. She also was manager of a nursing home for Catholic nuns. And I have 2 sisters, Glenda Hampton, she's a retired school teacher, and Claudia Matthews, she's retired as a salesperson, but she still does sales for Our Times. Even though Our Times was sold to Reverend Adrian Brooks, Claudia stayed on to help them with their advertising. And so I have 2 great sisters who always look out for me. And in fact, they celebrated my 79th birthday Sunday at Red Lobster, where I overate too many cheddar cheese biscuits. But I have 1 daughter, a granddaughter, a grandson. My grandson just became a member of the Minneapolis Fire Department. I have a great-granddaughter, and I have a granddaughter on the way. And so I have a real strong family in St. Paul, Minnesota, where my daughter and her husband, Norman, live. And, that's kind of like my family. Yeah.
I remember one of my first jobs was working for Sondra, and we figured out that I am really not a salesperson. But her and DeMarco always used to say I have a nice personality.
Yeah, remember we stole you from the cleaner.
Yes, that's right.
DeMarco, my nephew, helped me start the Our Times newspaper. And of course he passed in 2015. But my nieces and my sister came on and kind of filled up. But yeah, we stole you from the cleaners on the corner of Bellmead and Governor. What was the name of that?
Jim's Cleaners. Jim's Cleaners was my first job. But this isn't about me. I just wanted to say.
Well, we're about each other.
Yes, we are. I've always looked up to Sondra, and because This is all about positive and lifting up positive people and positive voices in this community. Sondra Matthews is definitely the one, that my perfect person to start this series with. Sondra also going to tell us what drives you. What is your drive?
Well, my major drive has been my mother. I've always wanted to make my mother happy, and my dad died when I was 15 years old, and my mother was a single mom, and she worked really, really hard, and all three of her girls have finished college, and so I've always wanted to meet adult expectations. Even my school teachers, my Sunday school teachers, those people, my pastor, they always had expectations for me and would tell me about this opportunity and that opportunity. And in fact, when I came back, when they learned I was coming back to Evansville from Milwaukee, Dr. Ira Neal and my pastor, Reverend W.R. Brown Sr., went to the major advertising company in Evansville and got me a job before I got here, working in public relations. And so I've always wanted to, I'm driven by meeting the expectations that people have for me. Positive expectations.
Yes, positive expectations. Yes.
Opportunities. And,
yes.
They have afforded me plenty of opportunities in Evansville. Also, I followed in my mom's footsteps, also being a Sunday school teacher at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, been a Sunday school teacher of the women's class for many, many years. And I'm also driven by wanting to be an example for my daughter and my grandchildren, that God already has a plan for you, and all you have to do is figure out what that plan is. You have been positioned in God's plan for humanity. He does not want anybody to miss paradise, and so He goes to great lengths to get us on the right track.
Right.
And so I try to ask the Lord to use me in getting people that I meet on the right track as well, so they can live their best life. Yeah. So
yes.
That's what drives me.
Yes, that's awesome. And last but not least, what would you give our upcoming? What would you tell our latest generation coming up? That would be probably your grandchildren or your great grandchildren coming up.
Right. I like I told my grandson after he was commissioned as a firefighter for Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he didn't come to church the next day. And I said, how could you not come to church and thank the Lord for blessing you in such a mighty way? I said, because you're going to need the Lord each and every day. We all do. And we are blessed that God has promised never to leave us and never forsake us, and that we can do all things through Him. We can do all things positive and strengthened through Him when we really believe. And so I would tell the next generation, build you a foundation in Jesus Christ. And then I would say, get all the all the education that you can towards your purpose. Nobody can take education away from you. And read. You know, wherever you have opportunity to read, do that. Whether you're in the bathroom or the bedroom, always have a book ready wherever you are to read and catch up. I find that working in the community, I've always been a volunteer, and so as Jesus said, He didn't come to be served, He came to serve. And the same thing with us that are believers. We're not wanting people to wait on us and to do all kinds of things for us, but we are looking for opportunities to serve other people. And when you serve other people, it gives you more idea about what your purpose is. And volunteer. I volunteer as a young person at high school for Carver Community Organization, always in a club, and volunteer just even after church. I go to visit nursing homes. Before the pandemic, that used to be my routine after church, is go and visit somebody in the nursing home. I haven't been since the pandemic because I know they got certain protocols now. Right. But still be in prayer for other people, and that makes you stronger when you are serving other people. and you'll find out that you don't dwell so much on your own issues as much when you're serving other people. So I would tell the generation, my grandson and my granddaughters and great-grandchildren, to look for opportunities to serve other people, find places in your community to register and vote. It's a part of our living, and if you don't vote, then you can't complain. But voting is so important. There's so many of our people have died in order for us to have an opportunity to vote, because that's part of the qualification of being an American, is having the right to vote. People all over the world don't have the right to vote without stress and that kind of thing. So there are people who are trying to go back to the pre-1950s before Dr. King came along with the marches and stuff. We want to take people of color back to a time when they, quote unquote, knew their place and didn't strive to be the best that God intended for them to be. And so voting is very, very important, as well as, you know, having your membership in a church that is studying the Word and making you stronger. And understand that suffering is a part of growing. If you don't have failures, you're probably not going to learn very much. It's through failures that you learn the most. And so don't let that be a bother for you. Don't be around people who are not sowing into you. You know, look for people who keeping you up and positive. Don't be around a lot of people that always have something negative to say about other people, because that'll feed into your spirit and it will block your blessings. And so it's so important to keep your eyes on the prize, as they say, and also keep active in your church family and keep active in your own family. There are things that, as having two sisters, one 7 years older, one 7 years younger, I'm in the middle, so we always have differences of opinion, but that's not who we are.
Right.
Who we are is the loving children of Lucille and Jasper Matthews, and so we stay in that positive frame of mind all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am so happy. I am so glad to have you join us, Sondra. You have really blessed my day. You've blessed my day. And remember, thank you for joining us here at Pink Elephant Celebrations, Pink Elephant Boutique, and then there was like Healing Art Studio, where we believe in the power of positive energy.
Amen.